of the vote has been counted. The president maintaining a lead, 52% to 47%, 52 to 48%. Now it has just changed. Of the 3 million votes that have already been counted, he's ahead, the president, by about 130 plus 1,000 votes. So the president maintaining his lead in Florida. By the way, at the top of the hour, the last Florida polls out in the Pensacola in the Panhandle will close. We might be able, maybe, we'll see if we can make a projection. It's part of a huge wave of results that we'll be getting in just a matter of a few minutes. Polls are also about to close in Illinois. Crowds are gathered in the president's hometown of Chicago. They are watching the results. We'll be right back.
We're living in a world that is so connected and so
experiences globally than we thought we had.
In some way, things that are happening at the other end of the world are linked to you.
Ideas have a way of traveling. They have a way of traveling across borders, across continents.
So we have to care about what is taking place in other countries, in other governments. And if they're doing the wrong thing, we need to make the world sit up, pay attention, and do something.
You've been wanting to get this kind of access. Unfiltered, face-to-face exposure to Africa's key players who have a hand on what's next and know what works. Stop waiting for that door to open.
This is your opportunity for FaceTime.
They are the biggest names shaping Africa's business, and you want to know what they know.
And I think that's why Africa is attractive.
FaceTime Africa, every Friday on CNN, in association with MTN. The CNN Freedom Project, recognized around the world as a strong voice in the mission to end modern-day slavery. And every story we tell gets us closer. Together, we can find solutions.
They could be the generation that doesn't work in the job. We're not going to change this whole culture. It's going to happen one girl at a time.
The selling of bras provides a stepping stone and a transition for the women to have a new life.
Together, we are stronger.
All of these young people are lining up to contribute money from their own pockets to fight human trafficking.
Some people will call us crazy, but we believe that this generation can end slavery.
The CNN Freedom Project, making a difference.
His outrage over a CNN news story compelled him to do something.
We all have the power to bring about change.
Join us. Follow the CNN Freedom Project on TV and at cnn.com/freedom.
This month on Living Golf, the Tiger and Rory Roadshow. For the first time ever, a joint interview with the two most gifted players of their generations.
He set the bar so high. He transformed the image of golf.
When he's out there and he's rolling, it's impressive. It's tough.
Living Golf, Thursday on CNN. In association with Rolex.
Losing weight in Kuwait is not that easy.
I'm a little bit overweight.
See why this Gulf nation is one of the fattest in the world. Plus, meet the artist driving his work at 90 miles an hour. Join me, Zain Verji, as we explore the state of Kuwait.
Inside the Middle East, Saturday only on CNN, in association with Qatar Foundation.
Anticipation is building at the candidates' campaign headquarters. We're live with the Romney camp in Boston, the Obama camp in Chicago, as we get closer to the top of the hour and another round of poll closings and projections. We'd like to welcome our viewers in the United States and around the world. I'm Wolf Blitzer. We're only moments away from tonight's biggest wave of poll closings in Alabama, Connecticut, Delaware, the District of Columbia, Florida, Illinois, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts. The polls also will be closing at the top of the hour in Mississippi, Missouri, New Hampshire, New Jersey, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, and Tennessee. Get this. Together, these states and D.C., they carry 172 electoral votes. That's a huge chunk of the 270 needed to win. Both presidential campaigns know it's crunch time. Jessica Yellen is with the Obama campaign. Candy Crowley is with the Romney campaign. Let's go to Jessica first. Jessica, what's going on over there?
Hi, Wolf. Well, we are waiting here, and I hear from the Obama campaign that they do feel good about one of the upcoming states that's closing, Pennsylvania. They like the African-American turnout that they have seen in that state. You know, Governor Romney made a late stop through there, but they are predicting to me that President Obama will carry Pennsylvania, and they might even see a higher African-American turnout than we saw 4 years ago, Wolf.
From Chicago, let's go to Boston and Candy Crowley. What's happening in Boston, Candy?
Well, inside this room, very chill, Wolf. They've been playing jazz music. People sort of gradually coming in. They cheer when they see a state go for Mitt Romney. But let's face it, these are sort of white-knuckle times in that hotel room suite for the Romney campaign. When you look at Virginia, when you look at Florida, when you look at North Carolina, when you look at Ohio, just hard to see how Mitt Romney goes unless he picks up most of those states. So white-knuckle time, but down here, very chill as they await some of these results. A lot of nervous tension in Boston and in Chicago, dare I say. Let's go to Anderson Cooper. Anderson?
Yeah, we are moments away, as Wolf just mentioned, from a huge wave of results. But from Florida and New Hampshire, they're the only states in this round that are considered key battleground states. We've got correspondents in both states right now. First to Florida, that's been so decisive in past elections. John Zarella is on the ground for us right now in Riviera Beach. John?
Anderson, what we're seeing now early on in the absentee balloting and the early balloting, the president's running up very big numbers in 3 key counties, Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties, heavily Democratic counties. He did very, very well in 2008. He has to do just as well this time around if he has a chance to take Florida. Anderson?
Andrew Griffin is in Jacksonville for us. Drew?
Yeah, Duval County right now, Romney up by just a little under 2% in the early and absentees. But, you know, the voting is still going on, even though the polls have closed. If you're in line at 7, you continue to vote and will cast your vote. We should see precincts coming in about 8 o'clock, just a few minutes from now, Anderson.
And Brian Todd is standing by in Nashua, New Hampshire. Brian?
Anderson, here is the line. Here is the clock. The polls close here in about 5 minutes. A fresh wave of voters just came in. Secretary of State here projecting record turnouts in Nashua, Manchester, and elsewhere in the state. Nashua and Manchester downtown areas lean Democratic. Some other rural areas lean Republican. It's going to be a very tight race here. Polls closing in about 4 minutes, Anderson.
We'll check back in with you. We've got correspondents more correspondents in battleground states than anyone else. Our John King is also back at the Magic Wall. John?
Anderson, we know Florida, we know New Hampshire, battleground states. The big question, did Governor Romney's late push put Pennsylvania in play? In Florida today, look at the even divide of the electorate. 35% of the voters in battleground Florida, Democrats. 32% Republicans, 33% independents. More and more Americans saying they're independents. They will decide who wins the key battleground state of Florida. Here's a huge question here, and we're seeing this state after state after state. 62% of Floridians today say the economy, issue number 1. We'll see how that breaks in the election here. This is another big issue in the state. Obviously, Florida, one of the older states in the country. Half of the voters today say President Obama would do a better job handling Medicare. Just shy of that, 46% say Governor Romney. So competitive here. It'll be interesting to watch and see how this affects the senior vote, a key constituency, especially for Governor Romney. Republicans need an edge among seniors. Let's move up to New Hampshire. This also, look at this. 43% of those in the live free or die state describe themselves as independent. 29% as Republicans, 29% as Democrats. So an even partisan divide. Independents will decide who gets the 4 electoral votes out of the state of New Hampshire tonight. It's only 4, but it could be decisive. Let's move past this one for now, and we'll look over here. The opinion of Mitt Romney, he owns a vacation home in the state. He was the governor of Massachusetts. New Hampshire voters split on Governor Romney today as we watch that one play out. And obviously, slightly more a favorable opinion of the president. One quick look at the state of Pennsylvania. Who would better handle Medicare? Another older state. 49-47, a slight advantage for the president. Wolf, we're going to watch this one play out. Florida, New Hampshire, we know our battlegrounds. Mark me down as slightly dubious that the blue DNA in presidential politics of Pennsylvania will shift this time.
We're getting ready, John, for a huge number of states to close. all of their polling